I know training camp has started for the Pittsburgh Steelers, but there are like almost plenty of players for the Pittsburgh Steelers to watch during training camp. So, hi everybody, Jordan Steele 88 with another video. I'm going to talk about the Pittsburgh Steelers players to watch during training camp. So, let's jump right into it. Well, there are like plenty of players to watch during training camp, like I was saying in, in the beginning of this video. So, so I'm gonna start with Broderick Jones. Broderick Jones, during when we drafted him in 2023, we expected him to be our left tackle, but the first two seasons he started at right tackle. I know he played little at left tackle, but since that time he was playing right tackle. I mean, especially in his second year, he didn't play all that well at right tackle. I remember during the Denver Broncos game, he was called for so many penalties, and then Troy Fontana, who I'm going to talk about, stepped right in, and then he got hurt, and then Broderick Jones played right tackle for the rest of the season. And now, during the off season, this past off season, he's in left tackle. So the pressure is on him to be that left tackle that we drafted him to be. So I know he's gonna have some growing pains on left tackle, but eventually it's gonna get better for him. 'Cause I expect some growing pains with Roger Jones at left tackle. So yeah, so that's Roger Jones right there. So I know people are calling him a bust, but I'm not ready to jump to conclusions on Roger Jones. So yeah. Next player is Troy Fautanu. We for the second straight year the Steelers drafted a tackle. I mean, 2023 drafted Broderick Jones, traded up to get him, and now then 2024 we drafted Troy Fontana to be our right tackle. That's what I was saying when he replaced Broderick Jones because of the penalties Broderick Jones got. Troy Fontana played pretty well at right tackle until he got hurt. So, like I was saying with Broderick Jones, Troy Fontana is gonna have his growing pains as well because he didn't play all that much his rookie year. So, and what I expect him to expect him to play better at right tackle, that being Troy Fontana. So, yeah, and I hope the rest of the offensive line can gel so they can be a better offensive line since we have Marquise Pouncey and David Castro in there. So, yeah, let me talk about Roman Wilson. Roman Wilson played one game, and that was against the Las Vegas Raiders during the 2024 season, but he wasn't targeted at all. Most of the time, he was hurt. So they still got to learn the playbook to be the better receiver that we drafted him to be. And I believe Roman Wilson can either be the number two receiver or that number three wide receiver that some Steelers fans expect him to be. So, so Roman Wilson is one of those players to watch. Like I was saying, there's plenty of Steelers players to watch during training camp. And I understand training camp has just got started. So now can Peyton Wilson step up to be that middle linebacker that we're trying to be going into his second year? That could happen because I've been hearing he was the first one on the field or off the field. First, well, yeah, because he wants to be good. So yeah, well, how? I mean, he may have not played this going into 2025, but guy, in my opinion, got potential to be that franchise quarterback. Because I've been hearing him doing well in OTAs and just now in training camp, he's doing pretty well. So yeah. But I don't expect I don't expect Will Howard to play right away, like I was telling people, because I don't want to put the rookie in, because I don't expect him to have that Big Ben moment like Big Ben had in 2004 in his rookie year. And he's learning from Aaron Rodgers, for that matter. That being Will Howard. He's picking Aaron Rodgers' brain for him to be that better quarterback that some Steelers fans expect him to be in the foreseeable future. A lot of people saying he's a backup quarterback, but he wants to prove that he's that elite quarterback in the NFL. That being Will Howard. So yeah, and let me talk about Caleb Johnson. He need he needs to be had a, he had a full package to be that NFL running back because in Iowa they will not pass him like that because that's why he did out of pass blocking very often. He's got to improve on his pass blocking, and a lot of people say he's not that fast. Well, on some training camp clips, it showed that he's pretty quick. So that being Caleb Johnson, and he's got to work on his hands too to be that receiving back. Now, I heard he's training with Le'Veon Bell for that matter. So, and going back to the offensive line, hopefully Zach Frazier, Mason McCormick can step up in their second years in the league. So, let me talk about Derek Harmon. I mean, he's a rookie. He's going to be the starter in that left defensive end spot in the 3-4 defense. And I was saying about that in my previous video about him. That having him in front of TJ Watt, oh my goodness, man. The right tackles and the right guards, they ain't gonna know who to block. That being Derek Harmon or TJ Watt. Because Derek Harmon can prove well, Derek Harmon, along with Keon Benton and Cameron Hayward, I mean, we can we can stop the run going into 2025 because in the last couple of games, especially against the Ravens' run game was having their way against the Steelers' rushing defense. So yeah, I think Derek Harmon could be that better lineman in his rookie year. So yeah, and let me talk about the secondary because that's been on my mind, especially Joey Porter Jr. I mean, Joey Porter Jr. had a rough second year, and we brought in guys like Darius Slade and Jalen Ramsey because Jalen Ramsey came in that along with John Smith when we traded away Nick Fitzpatrick. Jalen Ramsey and Darius Slade could help out Joey Porter Jr., Corey Trice, and the other cornerbacks on our roster because Jalen Ramsey is that veteran, and he and his cover skills is just phenomenal. So is Darius Slade's cover skills, just phenomenal, and it makes it hard for quarterbacks to throw against. I mean, it's like pick your poison between Jalen Ramsey and Darius Slade. Who y'all going to attack? If you try to attack Darius Slade or Jalen Ramsey, they're going to more likely either knock the ball away or the times pick a pass off. Joy Porter Jr., Corey Trice, and the other young corners got to pick their brains. Just like I was telling Will Howard needs to pick Aaron Rodgers' brain. So, yeah, I hope Joy Porter can improve and be a little less handsy because his hands are going to have referees throw out penalty plays against him because he's been holding on to these receivers and all that stuff. He's got to stop all these things. So, yeah. So I know there's some undrafted rookies I'm going to talk about. Guys like Sebastian Castro, who could be that nickel back. Because I was about to talk to him in one of my videos, which I may still do that. Sebastian Castro could play the nickel back position or possibly play free safety with the loss of Micah Fitzpatrick. Because I don't know one player could be that guy. So, and by the way, because Jay Ramsey may be able to play free safety because, like I was saying about the Micah Fitzpatrick loss, that could put Jay Ramsey in the free safety spot because that's vacant. Yeah, we signed who we signed? We signed somebody. Chuck Clark, yeah. But Chuck Clark is not. It's probably not gonna be that free safety. He's gonna be that strong safety right behind Deshaun Elliott. Deshaun Elliott and Chuck Clark played together in Baltimore. So yeah. So and back to the secondary, Joey Porter Jr. Like I was saying, Joey Porter Jr. and Corey Trice, they got to pick Jerry Ramsey's brain and Darius Slay's brain, so they could be those corners that we expect them to be in the foreseeable future. So yeah, what players need to look out for. And Rock Taylor, though, I know people are sleeping on Rock Taylor because he can be that Steelers wide receiver because he's got that Steeler in him with his physical because he's that physical wide receiver. So coming out of Memphis, because I believe he can make some noise during the preseason because our preseason game is not until 2 weeks. Correct me if I'm wrong. So yeah, because he's like 6'1", 213. Yeah. So yeah, so those are my players to watch if I didn't live about anything. Oh yeah, and Connor Haywood though, they might make him a fullback. That being Connor Hayward, 'cause he got to be that fullback because we acquired John Smith along with Jaren Ramsey. Because John Smith, he might be that he could be number two wide receiver, maybe number two tight end behind Pat Freiermuth, because that could be a duo right there. Just like I thought Darnell Washington and Pat Freiermuth could be that duo. And DK Metcalf, man, who we acquired, excuse me, in March. Could, is that is the Rogers and Metcalf connection going to work? That could work. It could work going into 2025. So yeah, so those are my players to watch. And yeah, you others put in your comment section. So let me know what you think down in the comment section down below about the players to watch for the Steelers in training camp. I understand, like I said, that training camp has just got started, but I need to get some before I do any of these recaps because there are players to watch during training camp, like I was saying before, that could be make this roster. So yeah, man. So Steelers football is back. I know preseason is in 2 weeks, by the by the recording this video. So yeah. With that being said, with that being said, this is Jordan Steele 88. See ya guys in my next video. And as always, here we go, Steelers. Here we go.